My name is Petro Kurkimilis. You call me Pete. Well, total service is 51 years. I had 30 years as a master of container ships, but I started from the bottom as an ordinary seaman and worked my way up. Back in those days, everybody was patriotic. It's a different world today. And I was in a merchant marine high school, so we were all 15 years old in that first term, and half of my class did just what I did. The Maritime Commission knew that we were forging our birth certificate, but they were building ships so fast and had no crew for them. And of course, I was convoy to Murmansk, and then I made many trips across in convoys, and I was quartermaster on a troop ship at Omaha Beach on D-Day, and I turned 18 then. So when I got back to the States, I had to register for the draft. The draft board told me, we need merchant seamen so bad, so we're gonna let you stay on the ships. However, if you don't go back on the ships, you're gonna be drafted in the Army. So I stayed on the ships. 4 years after the war ended, 1950, Korea came. They wanted to draft me, so I joined the Marine Corps. And I put 3 years in the Marines, and I was assigned to an amphibious reconnaissance battalion, and it was a troop-carrying submarine, the Sea Lion, which was the only U.S. submarine that sank a Japanese battleship. So they converted this Sea Lion into a troop ship, and we had rubber boats and all this paddling rubber boats off the submarine into the beach and the breakers. And when I got out of the Marine Corps, I was a sergeant then, and I went back on the ships. And that's when I started becoming an apprentice, starting to learn how to become an officer. And I eventually worked my way up after 10 years before I became master. And when I got enough sea time in, I became a Panama Canal pilot. Well, after I left the canal, I went to work with Sealand, a container ship company. And because I was a ship handler from the canal, we had 2 feeder ships in Vietnam. The only port that had shore cranes to take the containers on and off the ships. And one big line haul ship would come in once a week from California into Cam Ranh Bay. Now there were 2 feeder ships. I was captain in the Beauregard, and the other ship was the Raphael Semmes. Because we had our own cranes on the ship, the shore cranes would put the cargo on the ship. I'd proceed to Saigon. The jibs would go up. I'd put the ship alongside, no tugboats. I'm the docking master. And we discharge our containers with our ship's cranes, load containers, then go back to Cam Ranh Bay. Then we take another load and we go up to Da Nang and Quy Nhon, back to Cam Ranh Bay. And we used to alternate going back and forth to Saigon. The only time we got back to Saigon was to take fuel. When we got a little low on fuel, we would swap. And we'd go into Saigon. And I got a beautiful letter of commendation from the port manager in Cam Ranh Bay, and the commanding officer of the Cam Ranh Bay operation was a full colonel. And they gave me a going away party, and they presented me with a silk pilot's flag, donated to Captain Pete Kurkimilis as an honorary pilot of Cam Ranh Bay. And they were warrant officer pilots, but quite often these guys couldn't dock a ship. So any weather conditions, any time of the day or night, if the berth was free, I put that ship alongside. And I got a tremendous reputation doing that. Because it was a war zone, we got double pay. And because I was doing my own ship handling, per my union contract, it was $75 in, $75 out. Now, 6-month articles is 180 days. I made 157 ports in 180 days. So it was nothing but good money. But I was worth my weight in gold because my ship was never delayed. So I had such a good reputation when they built those Sealand SL7s. I was assigned, the head boss from Saigon came up to Cam Bay, and we were at anchor waiting for our berth to be clear. So I came down for breakfast, and Captain Whitaker sitting in my chair, you know. So introduced myself, and the chief mate sticks his head in the door. He says, "Captain," he said, "they need the ship at the dock immediately. That ship that's in there is backing off the berth, and he's got the Army pilot and 2 tugboats." So I said, "All right, go up to the bridge, tell the third mate, test the gear, then you go forward with the bosun, start weighing anchor." So Captain Whitaker's looking at me, and he's got the port manager of Cam Bay also. So Captain Whitaker says, "Where's your pilot? Where's your tugboats?" I said, "Follow me, Captain." We go up to the bridge. 10 minutes later, we get the anchor away. We proceed toward the dock, and I put that ship alongside beautifully. I got a message the next day from headquarters that they were signing me as permanent master in SL7. And those ships, they only built 8 of them, and they were 33 knots. That's almost 40 miles an hour. The ship was almost 1,000 feet in length. And we used to make from Port Elizabeth, New Jersey to Rotterdam in 4 days and 6 hours. You know, I was captain on that Sealand market for 8 years. Well, I've been advised that I'm going to lay the wreath for representing the Merchant Marine for World War II. We became veterans after 44 years. I'm just overcome by this because it's taken so long for them to give us recognition. And I'm so proud to do it because I lost so many shipmates. And you know, you never forget things like that. I was engaged in combat with a German submarine, so I have the combat bar on my ribbons. And it's mainly for the men that lost their lives, as well as the ones that are still here like I am. And I can't express my gratitude for this. And I only hope inside that wherever my shipmates are, that they're patting me on the back for this. What can they say?
Viva victory, man. Heave ho.
Heave ho.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service.
Okay.